I'm glad to welcome everyone watching Sotnik-TV this moment. My companion today is Dmitry Potapenko, a famous businessman and economist. Hello, Dmitry. Good day. Do you expect another ass-shaking by Vladimir Putin during his address tomorrow? He has launched some Kinjal missiles just recently, conducting some massive drill. Is he going to shake some ash, threatening the entire world, raving about heaven? Look, when the story over Iran occurred, I didn't give any comments right away. Here's why. 4 years ago, I was in a video that might still exist on a channel called That's What I Think. I gave my comments on the things profitable for us. You'll be surprised, but I said that a war in Iran was profitable for us, as we needed to put that player away from the oil market. What is the difference between my words 4 years ago and my current comments on the situation over Iran? The difference is the following. None of the experts has ever noticed that and discussed. The key factor for us is that 4 years ago, I considered us able to influence the situation over Iran with some casuistic way of setting up some skirmish that could be some war or some special operation or bombing. I've told that back then and still think that the perfect scenario would be some nuclear reactor explosion. That would not be some military operation and could lead to no sanctions. There would be lots of victims, but that would be impossible to get there. So anyone could be blamed, even some keeper that had made a mistake. So supposing some special operation is our beloved hybrid way of war, that would be perfect. Yet the situation has changed during those 4 years. Now it's some beef between the USA and Iran. We're out of that situation and are not the part of that Middle East skirmish. So we're not a regulator on the market of oil, including the Iranian one. Yet it was clear that Iran would deny that all. The key question now is what Iran was trying to actually hit. Let me remind you of my first military specialty called electronic warfare, so-called EW. I can say that no matter how bad Iranian specialist's skill was, the complex detection measures include not only radars. In order to give the command to attack a plane, several confirmations are required. Those include not only the radar data that shows different targets taking off using different heights and different marks. The speed is different and so is height changed. That is not a missile or jet fighter, as those look different. That is not a drone and can usually be confused with just one thing. I mean military transport airplane or electronic warfare plane. Airborne early warning and planes alike can cover a field. If we take a notionally low qualification of those trying to hit some electronic warfare plane, I guess that will be revealed soon, as the sky is really open nowadays and any data is quite public, so we'll know what their initial target was. They hit the civilian airplane, but we need to check whom could they try to murder on board of that, as Iranians were affected first. There were lots of Iranians among the victims. I must tell you right away that despite their citizenship or religion, I bring my sincere sorrow to their loved ones. I deeply believe that no matter how bad a man is, He doesn't deserve death. Let me make an important remark at this exact point. I believe that killing Soleimani in such way, I mean the absence of any trial in court, is something wrong. He may be twice the terrorist. He might have done something wrong. But even a terrorist or a terror attack mastermind needs to get a court verdict, rather than being assassinated by any country, including the US. Amid the situation we've just discussed, oil prices slightly raised and then moved down. That returned to its point as it didn't have to move. There was supposed to be some speculative factor, so everything was correct there. Markets operate by their own rules and principles. So once you play the market proactively, you need to use such situations. But in some long term, that doesn't mean that you need to stop and state that oil prices will always remain high. Those will drop. Okay, so oil price and adjustment happened. Ruble is getting stronger, you know. Yet everything is getting more expensive in Russia. How is that? Rye bread goes up. Please explain those economics principles that allow gasoline to go up when oil goes down. Everything goes up while ruble is getting stronger. What makes such paradox and what is the reason? There is no paradox. Please note that when oil goes down, the gasoline goes up, and when the oil goes up, the gasoline goes up again. So that goes up despite oil prices. But why is that happening? The key component there is not some raw material, like oil or gas that can be transformed into something. The key component for gasoline that makes almost 76% of the pricing are so-called taxes. I'm quoting that because in fact those turn into loot nowadays. Why am I calling that loot? Because no granny is malnourished or receives miserable pension due to the lack of budget funds. The budget is flooded with money. That chokes with money. The budget surplus remains at about 2 billion rubles for the third year in a row. That money doesn't go nowhere though. No one is giving that away at no case, so that jar is being saved for the next several years. Let me remind you that within the next 2 years we'll be getting closer to mineral extraction decrease due to the technological backwardness and so-called easy gas and oil exhaustion. In fact, let me give you another number. Despite the fact of our gas remaining brilliant quality, the supply to Europe decreases. Presidents Putin and Erdogan have just started Turk Stream, yet they forget to tell what happened to Blue Stream, as that was another pipeline that supplied Turkey with the required gas volume of 16 billion cubic meters that for some reason need to go through Turk Stream now. So the purpose of pipeline construction around here is to lay pipes. That's why everything will go up in price. Here's my final question. Will Gazprom be able to complete Nord Stream 2 construction? Or will they change those Swiss constructors into Gazprom uniform and have them complete that little by little? I have studied that carefully along with experts. Being an economist, I know those specializing in gas and oil. We possess 4 barges potentially capable for some kind of work on that object. 3 of those are shallow water vessels and can operate on the high seas. And the remaining barge require technological refurbishment at some numerous costs. But the key question is still the following. That barge belongs to Gazprom subsidiary. So once Gazprom tries to complete that construction on its own, that will get under sanctions right away. And Gazprom under sanctions stops being Gazprom. So the huge question is who will complete that construction. So I suppose that barge is to be resold several times through some fake. Yet legal proceedings around that Nord Stream are still coming. The logic of sanctions means they will investigate each resell and deal around that. So keep a close eye on that barge that is going to be removed from information flow intensively. Those able to access any vessel registration databases, watch that switch several jurisdictions. Not just entities, but jurisdictions as well. Then it needs refurbishment before getting down to work. Yet the purpose of building those gas lines is laying pipes, rather than transferring gas and obtaining profit. The entire country is pierced with pipes, and no one is offering us no money due to that fact. According to the Ministry of Energy, even Power of Siberia pipeline is not a commercial project. Once that is not a commercial project, why do we invest the funds of our taxpayers? So they might complete that construction in the year of 2020-something. Yet that will end up similar to Turk Stream, that brings no income. How does Power of Siberia pay back? Pipes should be laid not in order to transfer air or remain half-empty. Any construction can be completed. Today's 3D modeling technologies allow to shoot a pipe entering the ground, and then another pipe coming out of it. Are there pipes connecting those? Not necessarily. What a smart solution for new technologies of pipeline development I have just come up with. That only requires around 150 meters of pipe. We love gas, keep an eye on that barge. That was the opinion by Dmitry Potapenko, a businessman and economist. Please subscribe to us on Patreon and watch Sotnik-TV.